Williams Hometown Partners, Blick Homes, right here in Hutchinson, Kansas. And joining me today is Sheila Metzger with American Family, and we're going to talk about your company and what you do. But first I want to welcome the audience and say thank you so much for listening in today. This video is for you whether you're buying your first home, upsizing, downsizing. It has to do with insurance questions on the property that you might have during a real estate transition. So we're really lucky to be here today. So your office is just right across the street from us, and my office is a half a block south. We're at Playworks here in Hutchinson at 11th and Main, and we're in their Cosmo Works room, hence this really great art behind us. So this is a great place that Sheila and I grab a coffee at Scuttlebutts, and just a great place in Midtown Hutchinson to be located. I love my office location, and I know you do too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, talking about real estate and particularly property insurance, home insurance during a real estate transition and the things that we need to do. So let's start with, let's say that we're buying a house, we're on the market, we're pre-qualified, we're shopping for a home, and we put an offer in on a home, and we're going to expect to win the offer. We do. And then our lender's asking us for insurance information. Mm-hmm. So first of all, we should start on that fairly early because it might take a minute. What are some of the bigger issues that come up? Let's just tick those off, and then we'll talk about them one by one.
Some of the issues you will find that insurance professionals will look at when you are purchasing a home is the age of the home, roof condition, different characteristics of the home as far as heating and air, the age, also the electrical, just the characteristics of the dwelling, and also any sort of outbuildings that are, or detached structures mm-hmm. that are in the premise.
You know, all right, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Does it matter how close you are to a fire hydrant?
Yes, but due to different technology, it is becoming a little bit more
less important than
yes,
it used to be. That just went through my brain. I'm sorry. It just occurred to me. Does it matter?
It does. It does. But with the advancements in rating structure, and it doesn't impact as far as if you ever hear town class.
Right.
ISO. Hutchinson is a town class 1, which is our very best
Good.
rating, which is wonderful. But specifically identifying by town class is starting to become a little bit more a thing of a past.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, so when we buy a house, we're buying a roof over our heads.
This is true.
And boy, that roof and the age of the roof, the type of roof, the condition of the roof, that has a whole lot to do with the insurance quote. Should we talk about that first, or should we go back and talk about what are the factors that when you get a quote? Maybe we should cover that first. Mm-hmm. I've got my cart before my horse here. Mm-hmm. What are the factors when you're providing a quote to someone that come into consideration? Because I don't think everybody knows that.
Yes. Some of the things we will initially ask for is obviously your personal information as far as date of birth, social security number, previous addresses, because we are going to want to find out if you've ever had any other property claims. Property claims do impact a rate, even though it's not at the same premise. Mm-hmm. But if you do have claim history, it could impact either the rate or your ability to obtain insurance coverage. Mm-hmm. Another thing that comes into play is your credit. It's just the way of the world. Insurance companies do utilize credit in their rating, so that is something that is factored into a rate. That doesn't so much negate being able to get the insurance, but it can significantly impact rate.
The rate.
Claim history could impact your ability to get the insurance.
So we're looking at your personal information, we're looking at whether you've had claims before, your credit history, and then the property.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're to the roof.
Yes.
So the roof, we want it to be a good sound roof, but there are factors, again, age, condition, type, and whether it's decked or not.
This is true.
So
probably the most important characteristic on the outside of the home is the roof. That is heavily scrutinized. As far as we are going to be looking at the age, the condition, also the type. Most generally, you're going to see your asphalt composition roofs. Typically, they're a 30-year roof. That doesn't typically happen here in Kansas just due to heat and storms.
meaning that they typically don't last for a full 30 years.
This is true. This is very true.
Yes.
But we do want to know the age of the roof, and you will want to know that as well, because one thing in roof coverage you want to get is called replacement cost.
Right.
Okay, and with replacement cost, what that means, if you would have a situation where the roof is totaled in a storm, you would want that insurance company to pay you to get you back to where you were. As far as if it would, let's say for instance, if it would take $10,000 to replace your roof, we would want that insurance company to pay the $10,000, of course less your deductible.
Right, right.
But now, why the age is important is because more and more it's becoming an insurance trend that companies are utilizing what we call a 15-year roof or even 10-year roof, some. And what that means is for the first 15 years of a roof life, you get replacement cost if there's a claim on your roof. Mm-hmm. But once it hits year 16, and let's say you would have a claim that would total out the roof, you would only get, let's say if it was a 30-year roof, you would get less than half of the replacement cost due to depreciation. That is very important that you understand how that works, because a roof is a significant expense.
It's a significant coverage expense, and it greatly impacts your insurance. So when I'm with a client and we go look at a home and they're considering buying it, one of the things we do look at is the condition of the roof. Now, as a licensed real estate agent, I'm not qualified to assess the quality of the roof, but we can certainly look at it and look for things. And then sometimes the seller, because they may have bought the house and the roof was newer, but there's no record of when the roof was put on, they don't really know how old the roof is. So one of the things that I really love about directing a prospective buyer to you is that you'll actually go look at the roof, make an assessment, rather than provide some inexpensive insurance that then within that 6-month window or so that a company may have to go back and look at it, you'll find that now you have a roof problem and an insurance problem, which trickles down to a mortgage problem, and it gets way complicated.
Yes.
So I think that the message here in selecting, you have choices as a buyer as to who you might have provide your insurance and give you quotes on your insurance. And there are multiple factors that impact that, but one of the big things that changes the cost and having a good roof over your head is actually knowing the condition and knowing that your insurance agency is going to cover it and stand behind that coverage.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I feel as an agent it is very important for me to go and inspect the property, because let's say, for instance, if I feel possibly the roof is older than what I'm being told, just because they just don't know.
We don't know, right.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I do have partners, local roofers here in town that will inspect the roof for me and give me their professional opinion. Those relationships are important. Like Dianne indicated, companies do reserve the right to inspect these properties after an agent writes writes the policy. And if they feel things are different, they can make changes.
Yeah. So let's talk quickly about Class 4 IR.
Okay.
It's Class 4 impact resistant roofs. We're seeing more and more of those being put on because they have generally a 50-year lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
They are hail resistant, wind resistant, tree limb resistant.
Yes.
Not big limbs. That's a roof structure issue. But we're seeing more and more of that. Is that true?
We are, because the 15-year roof thing is more of a newer concept within the insurance industry. So we still have a lot of consumers who have the what we call classic policy, which is a replacement cost policy on the roof, no matter the age of the roof. So with that, the impact resistant shingle is very beneficial. It's going to last longer.
Sure.
If it's not a situation where there's claim, you don't have the deductible.
Right.
So there is better. This is a better roof that will help you with premium, because insurance companies will give you a deep discount on the policy if you have this roof.
Yes. Deep discount, key word. Now that changes agency to agency.
Yes.
But there is a significant discount that is associated with the Class 4 impact resistant roof. So if you're in a home and you're not really moving, but you're just listening to this because it's interesting, but you're going to need a new roof at some point, or you want to get a new roof, that would be something absolutely to check out. And so in summary, I guess what we're hearing is that what we used to think is, oh, I'm buying a classic shingle 30-year roof. They're not really 30 years anymore. They're being evaluated more as 15 years lifetime in the insurance world, or I often hear it being referred to as, well, you're at the half-life of the roof and we need to really look at this.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are so many ways on your insurance rider, especially when you're buying a house, things that you can cover. I mean, everything from jewelry to safes to adding everything into it. What is your recommendation as an insurance agent for people to do when they're shopping for a policy?
When you are shopping for a home insurance, there are so many different endorsements that can be placed on a policy. There's no way that one cookie cutter will fit each consumer.
Right.
So it's important that you take the time to meet with your agent. And if the agent doesn't want to meet with you, I would maybe think twice, because there are things that you need to be thinking about. There's endorsements called service line. That provides coverage for any line that services your home that runs underground.
So wait, we're talking about clay septic lines, sewer lines going to the street where it connects with the city.
Yes.
A service line coverage can actually cover if that breaks or is clogged up or has a significant problem and has to be dug up.
Yes.
With big machines in the yard. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of those lines. So what we're suggesting is that just like with mortgages, we might not want to go with an online mortgage. We like to suggest working face-to-face with people who can help you, but who may also be available pretty much 24/7, because those of us in the industry here are really responsive to people's requests and service those after hours. You probably want to do the same kind of shopping with an insurance agent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time to visit with me and with our prospective buyers. One of the things that we try very hard at Keller Williams Hometown Partners Blick Homes is to be sure that we are making our buyers and sellers as educated as possible in every aspect of home buying, and being able to introduce you to our business partners who also believe in education, fully disclosing, providing all of the information available, and asking questions that sometimes Honestly, I think sometimes we would like to just kind of blow right past and not answer those because they're going to cost us more money or they're hard questions. When we're making an investment that's one of the biggest in our lives, our home and the roof over our heads, I think it really makes sense to be talking to and bringing in professionals to get their expertise and to ask questions. And it doesn't cost anything to have a conversation. I know you're always happy to have a conversation.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Sheila Metzger with American Family, thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Diane.
joining me today.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.